In this Monster Hunter Wilds video, we're going to be taking a look at the hunting horn and the combos that you can do with it, how to operate the hunting horn for those new players out there, along with some changes to the hunting horn. So whether you're a new player looking how to use this weapon, or you're a returning player and you want to know what's different, should have something for you in this video. The hunting horn is probably the most underrated and one of the most overlooked weapons across the entirety of the Monster Hunter franchise. This can probably be attributed to its plain moveset and apparent lack of special skills, but the hunting horn remains the ultimate team player's weapon. The hunting horn can provide hunters with a variety of buffs that differ from one horn to another, but we won't cover all of them in this video. However, we will have a separate video going through all the buffs for all the hunting horns, so stay tuned for that if you need more help. These buffs, though, can range from increased raw attack, elemental attack, defense, elemental resistance, health boosts, and more. If you want to be the support player in Monster Hunter Wilds, this weapon is for you. But one would be remiss to think the horn only provides support, since it can also deal a respectable amount of blunt damage, which is great for stunning monsters. The first thing we're going to take a look at in this guide is some of the hunting horn mechanics. Although the hunting horn has combos like other weapons and you can use these to hit monsters, these are not the main focus when using the hunting horn. Each specific button press also serves a different function, and since the hunting horn, as the name implies, is a musical instrument, you are essentially playing a sequence of notes with each attack you do, and once you have a sequence of notes, you'll have stocked a specific melody that you can perform. Each hunting horn will have 3 different types of notes available, which you can press in different orders to be able to perform different melodies later. These buttons are Y, B, or Y plus B on Xbox, or triangle, circle, and triangle plus circle on PlayStation. Apart from the self-improvement melody, which can be performed after 2 Ys on Xbox or 2 triangles on PlayStation, the melodies available to perform by playing specific strings of notes will vary between each hunting horn, so you want to have a look at these to see what they do, and you can check out the wiki if you need to see what they are beforehand. You can stock up to 3 melodies before you start a performance with your hunting horn by pressing right trigger on Xbox or R2 on PlayStation. Melodies will be played in the order they are stocked, but you can press right trigger plus Y or right trigger plus B on Xbox if you want to play a different stored melody, and this would be R2 plus triangle or R2 plus circle on PlayStation. Some melodies you can play will have multiple levels available to them. For example, the attack up melody that can be performed when using the hunting horn can buff the attack stat of your whole party up to 2 times. You'll be able to see what level the buff is at the moment by the color of the specific buff that will be shown on the UI when using the horn. If the buff is yellow, it can still be leveled up. If the buff is purple, then the buff is the highest available level. Echo waves are offensive melodies that can be performed when using the hunting horn, and each hunting horn will have different echo waves. The echo waves will deal more damage compared to your normal strikes with the horn, and different echo waves will have different damage types. The damage types can be blunt, severing, elemental, or status ailments, depending on the specific hunting horn you are using. Next, we're going to go to the hunting horn combos, but we're not going to go into these too deeply. They're pretty straightforward. And really, the way that you play the hunting horn in Monster Hunter Wilds is mainly dictated by the notes that you're trying to play in order to try and pull off the melodies that you're trying to perform. So you're not really prioritizing combos like you are with other weapons. However, it's still nice to know them because you still will use them from time to time. The first combo is the basic combo. This is a forward smash followed by a flourish, and you perform this combo by pressing forward on the left stick plus Y, and then forward on the left stick plus B, or forward on the left stick plus triangle, and then forward on the left stick plus circle. The second combo is the powerful combo. This is an overhead smash followed by a follow-up attack, and you simply perform this combo by pressing forward on the left stick and Y plus B simultaneously, and then doing this a second time, or forward on the left stick plus triangle plus circle, and then doing this a second time. The next combo is the basic perform combo, and this is performed by pressing forward on the left stick and right trigger, and then performing an encore by pressing Y plus B, or by pressing forward on the left stick and pressing R2, and then by pressing triangle plus circle. Encore is sort of a follow-up attack that you can do after performing a melody, and it will deal damage to the monster, and it will also increase the level of buffs that you have from your melodies if they can be increased. The next combo is the triple melody effect combo. This combo essentially plays all 3 of your stock melodies, assuming you have 3 stock melodies, and follows with an encore. You cannot do this whole combo without having 3 stock melodies, otherwise you'll do the basic perform combo. To do this combo, you'll press left stick plus right trigger, then right trigger, then right trigger, then right trigger, or Y plus B, although right trigger is easier, or forward on left stick plus R2, and then R2, then R2, then R2, or triangle plus circle. Know that it's really important to follow up with that encore at the end, because if you pull off all of your melodies and you hit with that encore, you'll improve the level of those melodies if they can be improved. Next, we'll take a look at the Hunting Horn changes and buffs, as well as some of the moves for Hunting Horn. The Hunting Horn is in its best form in Monster Hunter Wilds with the new additions that directly impact how you play the Hunting Horn. Arguably, the best addition to the Hunting Horn is the Echo Bubbles, which are performed by pressing A and right trigger on Xbox or X plus R2 on PlayStation. These Echo Bubbles provide various buffs to the hunters, and you can put down a set amount of these Echo Bubbles at one time. The buffs these bubbles provide will vary depending on which horn you're using. These Echo Bubbles can also damage monsters depending on the type of horn you're using and the notes that are available to you. Performing a damaging note while the monster is in the range of multiple bubbles can lead to a surprisingly high amount of damage. Another special feature is that you can stock notes while you're putting down an Echo Bubble by timing your inputs, but this can take a while to get used to. But if you get the timing down, this will help horn players with quickly providing buffs for their team. The Hunting Horn also has a special rhythm mechanic in Monster Hunter Wilds. How this functions is that while you're performing melodies, while each individual melody is playing, you can press the perform button again to do a performance beat, and if you time it perfectly, it shortens the animation of the current performance and triggers the next one. This will allow you to perform melodies much faster while in combat, but the timing for this is strict and will take a while to get the hang of, because even though it's the same timing on each horn, horns don't all sound the same. This can be done once per melody, and since you can stock up to 3 melodies, you can trigger this 3 times, with the last one triggering an encore. With the addition of the Focus Strike in Monster Hunter Wilds, the Horn's Focus Strike will draw out and stab at the wound with the horn by pressing RB on Xbox or R1 on PlayStation while in focus mode. As the move takes a little while to connect and the range is fairly limited, this can be hard to land. However, when it does land, it will start the full reverb Focus Strike, having the hunter play the horn like a guitar, which is awesome. There is also another rhythm game mechanic to this where you can stock a note for each strum on the Hunting Horn during this. Again, the timing is very strict on this, so it will take a while to get used to, but each stored note increases the damage dealt with the final hit, so if you can store the maximum 5 notes, you'll get the most damage out of this move. The riding attacks on the Secret are completely unique for the Hunting Horn, as you can fully play and store melody notes or perform them and get their buffs. This is an amazing option to store notes and keep your buffs up, even when you're moving around on the landscape. Another interesting addition to the Hunting Horn is special performances, which can be performed by B plus Y plus right trigger on Xbox, or circle plus triangle plus R2 on PlayStation. Each Hunting Horn has one special performance, which is located last on the list of its melodies in the upper right of the UI, and they usually require 4 notes to stock. The Offset melody is also new to Monster Hunter Wilds, and it is classified as a special performance. Offset melody begins with a quick backward spin, followed by a strong attack, which is an offset attack. Offset attacks are a new type of attack that was added in Monster Hunter Wilds. These attacks fill up an invisible offset meter on the monster, much like a status effect, and will topple the monster when you trigger the effect. And like status effects, the subsequent triggers will get harder and harder to trigger after the first topple. The important thing to note with this attack is that the offset attack is at the end of the animation, so it takes a while in order for it to connect with the monster's attack as you swing. But the attack can be held before releasing, much like a normal charged attack, to better time your swing. Even if the offset attack does not connect, the performance itself can result in decent damage, so this move is still worth performing even if you miss the offset attack. The only other types of special performances in Monster Hunter Wilds are the Resounding Melody performance and the Melody of Life. The Resounding Melody is another offensive special performance, but unlike the offset melody, this attack cannot be held. You'll perform an attack where you spin the horn around twice as you hit the monster and end with a slam to the ground, delivering a huge strike. At the end of this attack, the Echo Bubbles you've put down will trigger a damaging pulse, which will damage any monster that is within its area. The Melody of Life is a special performance that is not offensive at all, because when you play the Melody of Life, it will heal you and your teammates in an area around and anyone who is in the Echo Bubbles at the time. The Melody of Life is a great way to heal your teammates over a large area as a support player of the hunting party. Final tips. The list of melodies you can play with each horn will be listed on the top right of your screen when in combat and in your inventory screen when selecting the weapon, so be sure to check what melodies and buffs will be available to you whenever you're preparing for a hunt. Even though you are most likely just supporting the team the majority of the time and not the main damage dealer when using the Hunting Horn, be sure not to stay too far away and stay in range of your fellow hunters so they can benefit from your buffs, and with the addition of Echo Bubbles you have more means to provide buffs to your teammates and deal some damage to the monster. The Hunting Horn deals blunt damage, so it's still very effective at stunning monsters even if it's not as good as some other weapons, even if you just use the simple combos, especially if you hit monsters in the head. Don't forget to stock your notes as needed in between your performances so you'll have them ready in case of emergencies like when you need fast heals or stamina boosts. As such, spamming random notes and attacks will be detrimental to your overall effectiveness, and hunting horn users need to be methodical with their notes and performances. For secondary weapons, if you want to be the unparalleled support in the hunting party, you can have a different horn provide different melodies and special performances as your secondary weapon. This will help you switch horns on the fly during the hunt, whether you need a specific buff or a heal depending on the situation. As a horn user, you'll most likely be at range from the monster, and if you want to put in a little damage between your performances, the bow is a good option with its myriad of shots and combos. So that wraps up our hunting horn guide for Monster Hunter Wilds. I hope you learned something from this guide. Whether you're a new player or returning player, try to get as much in there as I could that made sense. But as always, if there are other things that you think other players need to know that I forgot to mention in this video, you can leave them in the comments to help them. Or if you have further questions about the hunting horn, I know it's a confusing weapon, you can leave them in the comments and I will try and answer them as soon as I can.